my side and let me share the screen. Guys, any issues, any doubts, any questions? Mostly today you will get the sample resumes. Okay, so I'll tell you how to update your resume and all. Okay, so please prepare your resume accordingly. Where is that? Yes. One minute, guys. Right. So in the last class, we discussed about the performance tuning related things like CPU more than 90%, memory more than 90%. Okay, TempDB issues as of now we haven't discussed. So mainly CPU more than 90%, memory more than 90%, checking blockings, right? Checking blockings. And what if your application is running slow, query is running slow? We just discussed some points only, not completely. Okay, so let me just give you a brief again. So in case if you face anything like your CPU is more than 90%, memory is more than 90%, application is running slow, query is running slow, for all these things, the common troubleshooting steps are: first you have to check, okay, the CPU utilization and memory utilization from your task manager. Okay, CPU utilization and memory utilization from your task manager. So you know, right, how to check from the task manager. Right, everyone knows, right, how to check the CPU and memory utilization from the task manager. Guys, everyone knows, right, how to check the utilization of CPU and memory from the task manager.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so you have to check the CPU and memory utilization from the task manager, and you have to, okay, Srinath, you can record, okay, and you have to just click on that ascending and descending order. Just click on that values, okay, which one is taking a high CPU. Okay, if you just open task manager, and there you can see performance, right, and here in the processes tab you can see CPU, memory. Okay, so you just click on this CPU or memory, whatever you want. Okay, if you just click on it, you can see ascending order which process is taking more. So in case if no, if it is non-SQL processes, what we have to do, we have to, okay, wait a minute, people are joining, slowly people are joining. Sridhar, you can record the session. Okay, fine. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, right. So you have to open task manager and you have to check it which process is taking more CPU and memory, and you can just click on the CPU or memory value so that it will be arranged in ascending or descending order. So based on that, you can easily identify either a SQL process is taking more CPU or a non-SQL process is taking more CPU. If it is a non-SQL processes, then please route that incident or take it to the Windows team. If it is a SQL processes, in case if you have multiple instances in that particular SQL server or Windows server, what you have to do, you have to expand here one. Okay, you can see, right, you have to expand this kind of symbol. Okay, so just expand this triangle so that you can see here, you can see the instance name. I'm just giving the example. Okay, this is not SQL server, but this is how you can identify which instance is taking more CPU. Okay, so once you identify which instance is taking more CPU, then what you can do, so immediately you will go to that server, you will log into that server, you will connect to that SQL server, and you are going to check, okay, any blockings are there. So what is the query to check the blockings, guys?
SP underscore who
Hmm.
is
Any other query? Only I want to check only blockings. I want to see the blockings is
SP underscore who to sir.
no.
Sister process where
Hmm.
ID is not equal.
Where?
Blocking ID is not equal to
Hmm. Zero.
Select star from sys dot sys
Hmm.
processes blocked less than greater than 0. Sir.
Yes. Okay. So you can call that less than greater than as not equal to. Okay. So you can call that less than greater than as not equal to. Right. So you have to check select star from sys processes where blocked not equal to 0. Okay, so the less than greater than symbol you can call it as a not equal to. Okay, so once you checked that blockings and all, if you found any blockings, what you have to do, guys? What will do in case if you can see
kill.
any blockings? Sorry.
You have to kill it based on the impact.
Yes. Okay. So based on the user approvals, again, the condition is based on the user approvals. You can easily check which process is running, which process is blocked. Okay, which session it is, what is the query inside that particular session, who is running that query. So you can easily check and you can see the login name and all. You can ping him in the teams or like you can send an email to that particular application team. You can ask this process is taking more CPU or more memory, or else it is blocking other processes. Please let us know, can we kill this process or not? In case while killing also, the major thing you have to keep in mind is, okay, all processes will go for roll back, roll forward, redo, undo state. So make sure don't think immediately if you kill the session, it is going to fix the issue. So it depends upon the rollback state. If rollback is completed immediately, the session will be killed and the issue is going to be fixed. Okay. And one more important thing is in case if you got any alarms like CPU more than 95%, memory more than 95%, wait for 5-10 minutes. As discussed, these are the spikes that will regularly come and go. Okay, this is the first troubleshooting step you have to do. Just wait for 5-10 minutes. And again, as discussed, these alarms will come and go. These are the spikes, CPU spike, memory spike. Okay, these will come and go. In case if they are not going even after 10 minutes also, then start concentrating on it. Okay, as discussed, whatever things we just discussed till now, keep checking those all things. Okay, so you have to check the bloggings and upon approvals, proper approvals, then only you can kill the sessions. Okay, even killing the sessions also won't fix the issues immediately. You have to wait for 5-10 minutes, or else you have to wait for the rollback state is going to be completed. Okay, these are the things we have discussed in the last class, right? Any issues, any doubts? Right. Okay. So you just fixed the blockings issue. So now see you are keep on explaining these things in the interview and the saying no, it is because of SQL Server only I'm getting CPU or memory issues. Even though like after SQL Server, like if you said about the blockings, he will say no, there are no blockings. So he'll keep on skipping each and every step. He want to know how many things you know, how many things you just practiced, or else how many things you have in hands-on experience related to the performance tuning. He's keep on saying, he's keep on skipping whatever you are saying, whatever answer you are saying. Okay, you have to check the blockings. Right now there is no blockings in the sequence, and again blockings are very common, guys. Blockings will come and go, that is not an issue. Okay, if blockings are there for long duration, okay, then you have to concentrate on it. Usual blockings, they will come and they will go, that's not an issue. And again, one more important stored procedure we discussed in the last class is sp underscore who is active. Very important stored procedure. And if there is a chance, try to deploy sp underscore who is active in your local SQL server. Okay, just go and check in the Google how to deploy sp underscore who is active. Just check like that. Okay, so and you will get a steps. Just try to like create sp score who is active stored procedure in your SQL server. Okay, so like that it is going to work. So sp score who is active is very helpful. You can see the session since how many days, hours, minutes, seconds, milliseconds they are running, and you can see which query is running inside that particular session. Okay, and you can see the CPU utilization, memory utilization, disk IO utilization, who is running the query. Okay, so everything you blockings also you can see. Okay, and you can see the status also, whether it is running or suspended. You can see the status also, so you can see lot of things with the help of S1 score who is active. If you have a chance, again create S1 score who is active by your own. Okay, right, fine. So apart from these things, even though there is no blockings, now what we have to check? But still CPU is like consuming 90%, memory is consuming 90%. What we have to check? There is no blockings. What we have to check later?
Top
అప్లికేషన్స్
running
కొద్ది రన్నింగ్ స్లోగా ఉన్నాయా లేదా చూసుకుంటాం.
How? How, FIFA? How you are going to check applications are running slow?
top running cycle.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so let's discuss other things as well. Okay, so once we checked these things, okay, right, and let me go. Okay, this is the one, right? Check all processes using S1 score who is active or select star from sys.sys processes. Okay, fine. We have already discussed, right? Command blockings. Blockings are very important. If any blockings are there, they are going to kill the performance. Find the blocking process and check who is running the processes. Contact him using communicator tool. Communicator tool means either your Skype or your, what is that? Teams, or else you will have your this one, right? Your Outlook. Okay, so you can use different communicator tools also there. Jabber. These are small internal communicator tools and all. Okay, so like we have already discussed, ask him what query you are running and can we kill the session. After killing also, okay, sometimes it will take time to fix the issue, right? So apart from this blockings, you have to check any current jobs are running. Apart from these blockings, you have to check any jobs are running. Okay, you can check, right? You can check using your activity monitor. Okay, so if you want to see whether any jobs are running currently, you have to open this activity monitor. There you can see what are the jobs are there inside your SQL server. And activity monitor is very helpful, guys. Activity monitor is very helpful. You can see lot of columns whether jobs are enabled or not. What is the status? Idle. Idle means currently it is not running. Okay, if it is currently running, you can see the status as executing. Okay, and what is the last run outcome? What is the last run, when it was last run successfully, and when the next run? Okay, and what is the category, runnable, scheduled or not? Sometimes you have to check this column also. Jobs will be there, it won't be disabled, but it won't run. Okay, so when it won't run, jobs are there, job is enabled only, but it is not running. What might be the reason? What might be the reason? Job is there, job is enabled only, but it is not running as per the schedule. It is not starting. What might be the reason? Simply, if you see here, if the schedule is disabled, okay, so you just simply set an alarm. Okay, you just simply set an alarm. You choose your favorite ringtones and all for alarms, and you just choose your hours, time, minutes, and all everything. You just set it up. But you simply like what you can say, or else you kept your phone in silent mode, or else what you can say, you just turn off that one. You can see that alarm. You can turn on, turn off. You just set everything. You just set hours. You just set minutes. You just set AM or PM. You just set date, everything, and you just selected a ringtone, but still if the alarm is off, okay, what is the use of those things? Okay, in the same way, job is enabled, but if the schedule is, okay, disabled, you can see, right? If it is disabled like this, if it is not enabled, if schedule is not enabled, then how come it can run as per the schedule time? Right, there are some scenarios you will get these kind of things and all, you will check everything, but if you don't check schedule is enabled or not, okay, simple solution, right? So once we know as job is not enabled or schedule is not enabled, then we can easily identify. But to find the root cause, why it is not working, why it is, even though the job is enabled, why it is not running? So to find the root cause, if you just miss these simple things and all, okay, you are going to waste your time. Okay, so again, make sure you are going to open the job activity monitor and check the status of the jobs. Any jobs currently running, if it is running any jobs, the status will show as you're executing. If you can see any jobs showing as executing, then you have to check which job is running, since how many hours it is running. Okay, since how many hours, you can easily check from the job history. Okay, since how many hours it is running, what is the last outcome. Okay, everything you can check from this your job activity monitor, and job history also you can check it. Okay, you can check here, see here, you can see, and how much time it ran for the last time, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours. Okay, you can see in the duration column, duration field, you can easily identify since how many hours it is running, or else last time how many hours it ran, how much time it ran, you can easily identify using your activity monitor. And again, check any parallel jobs are running, any multiple jobs are running. Okay, means parallel jobs means 2 3 jobs at a time. If they are running at a time, you can call it as a parallel jobs. Okay, so sometimes even though if the backup jobs are running, okay, in the uneven time, say for example, okay, backup job is failed, Sunday backup job is failed, suddenly Monday someone checked, they just started backup job. As it was failed on Sunday, they just started backup job. Backups are huge databases. We have like huge databases are there. To complete backup on each database, it is taking 2 hours, 3 hours. Definitely, it is a performance killer, right? If you are running backups, as discussed earlier, backup jobs, maintenance jobs, especially maintenance jobs, backup jobs are index rebuild, index reorganize jobs, update statistics jobs, okay, DBCC check DB jobs. These jobs you cannot run on business days, during business hours, especially. If you run DBCC check DB job, see, if you run individual DBCC check DB on any specific database, that's not a big issue. But if you are running DBCC check DB on all the databases, that creates an issue. If you are running a full backup job on all the databases, definitely that's create an issue. If it is a big server and all. Okay, so check any parallel jobs are running during the time. Okay, in case if it is job backup jobs or any maintenance jobs, then make sure, okay, after taking proper approval, or just check who started the job and then kill the jobs if the jobs are creating the problems. If any running jobs are creating the problems, then you can kill those jobs. Okay, so this is also very important. You have to check any parallel jobs are running, and you have to take care of those jobs as well, especially as discussed backup jobs, check DB jobs, DBCS update statistics, indexing jobs like index rebuild jobs, index reorganize jobs and all. So might be today I'll explain about indexing, or tomorrow, okay, we'll discuss about the indexing, right? And these are the things that are going to concentrate for CPU memory up to now. This is common. Okay, so in case, let's go for first CPU. Okay, some things we have to concentrate on CPU side as well. So in case if CPU is not coming down, there are no parallel jobs running. Okay, so now you told me one more point, check any jobs are running or any parallel jobs are running. As an interviewer, okay, I am going to, okay, give that option. Okay, now there are no jobs are running, so SQL Server is like not experiencing any current jobs and all. Okay, so what is next? What next? Okay, check all CPUs. Okay, so I'll explain about this. I'll explain about this point. Okay, in the memory, nothing to worry. Who is that? Who joined? Not my. Okay, fine. Right, someone is coming and going. I don't know. That's fine. Okay. Right. So apart from these things, what else you have to check? Okay. So very important things. These are very important things. Okay. So you have to check cost threshold parallelism and max degree of parallelism. Where I can find these settings? Cost threshold parallelism and max degree of parallelism. What these things will do, I'll explain. Okay. So cost threshold parallelism, max degree of parallelism, both are very important settings. If you go to server properties and advanced, there you can see at the end of the, okay, properties parallelism tab, you can see these two values, cost threshold parallelism and max degree of parallelism. Okay, these two are very important, guys. I'll explain what these two things will do. Cost threshold parallelism will help you to enable the parallelism, means parallel processes can run at a time. How many parallel processes can run at a time? How many parallel processes can run at a time is defines your cost threshold parallelism. SQL Server allows parallelism and serialism also. Okay, parallelism and serialism. Serialism means running one process at a time is a serialism. Running multiple processes at a time parallelly is called parallelism. Parallelism is sometimes it's good, serialism is sometimes it's good. Okay, serialism is good for sometimes, parallelism is good for sometimes. Right, and we have a developer Aditya. Aditya?
Sir, hello.
Yeah, Aditya, explain Aditya how it will be like helpful for us. Like you are a developer, right? You know, right?
Yeah, parallelism is, for example, in HSIS, based on the course, it will help us.
Mm.
It is, like, in server, there
So
will be sales, right?
as a developer, so which one is useful? Parallelism is useful or serialism is useful, or we cannot tell, depends upon the query.
Based on the scenario.
Okay.
Means, for example, if you want to make for example, there are 5 or 6 tables are there, for example. You want to
Oh,
load parallelly means, then we can use parallelism.
okay.
No, I don't want, there is a primary key, foreign key constraint, right?
Mm.
So at that time, we have to use serial, like first parent table, next table, like that.
Mm. Okay. So
Based
guys,
on
it,
the scenario.
yes. Okay. So it depends upon the scenario. Completely depends upon the scenario. Yes, serialism is good in sometimes. Okay, parallelism is good multiple times. So usually we'll go for parallelism. 90% will go for parallelism. Okay, rarely will go for serialism and all. So parallelism means, as discussed, running multiple sessions parallelly or processes parallelly is called your parallelism. That is called your cost threshold parallelism. Okay, so the Microsoft recommended value for SQL Server cost threshold parallelism is 5. The recommended value is 5. Sometimes you can see 50, 100 and all here in the cost threshold parallelism. That's not a good value. That's not a recommended value. So the best value is 5. Okay, so make sure cost threshold parallelism is showing as 5. In case in some organization, if it is showing as 20, 30, 50, check with your colleagues why it was set to 20, 30, any specific reason for that. There might be some specific reasons and all, but usually the recommended value for cost threshold parallelism is 5. And what is this max degree of parallelism? What is the ideal value for max DOP? Max degree of parallelism or max DOP? We can call it as a max DOP, MDOP, okay, or max DOP. Okay, so max DOP is nothing but in case if parallelism is needed, okay, in case if parallelism is needed, how many CPUs are going to work defines your max degree of parallelism. CPU cores. In case if parallelism is needed, how many CPU cores is going to share the load? How many CPU cores is going to share the load is called max degree of parallelism. So we might have 16 core CPU, 24 core CPU, 32 core CPU. Okay, so we might have big servers with the multiple cores. Okay, so that doesn't mean in case if parallelism is needed, all CPU cores are going to exchange the load. Nothing like that. Okay, you can define how many CPU cores at a time can share the load. If parallelism is needed, this max DOP value depends upon your cost threshold parallelism. Cost threshold parallelism. If parallelism is needed, chalo, parallelism is needed. I need parallelism in my project. Okay, that's fine. How many CPU cores, okay, want to run at a time? In case if parallelism is needed, how many CPU cores want to run at a time? That defines your max degree of parallelism. So usually it depends upon your CPU cores. This max job will depends upon your CPU cores. If you have 2 core CPU, you can mention this value as 2. If you have 4 core CPU, you can mention this value as 4. If you have 8 core CPU, you can mention this value as 8. If you have 16 core CPU, what is the value, guys? What is the value for 16 core CPU? Tell me.
16, sir.
16. I need answers from everyone. We have almost 16 members here in the batch. I got a response only from 3 or 4. 16, 16, 16, 16. 16. Come on, pick. Okay. So the best value, the ideal value for max DOP is 8. Even though you have 16 core, the max value is 8. Even though you have 32 core, the recommended value is 8. Up to 8, you can give whatever number of CPUs are there, you can give that number. If it crossed 8, if CPU cores crossed 8, still you have to give 8 only. That's the recommended value. Guys, where I can check the CPU cores? Can anyone tell me how many CPU cores are there to my laptop or server? How can I check? How can I check the number of cores? System information. Okay, what is the shortcut to open system information? Very good. After 2 months, everyone became professionals. But we don't know how to see the number of cores. This we have already discussed during the installation. Fine. So you can see here, if you open system information, the shortcut is MS Info 32. You can see the processor property. There you can see what is your processor i3. You can see, and you can see the speed of the processors, and you can see the cores, 2 cores. So guys, tell me what is the ideal value for my SQL server? What is the max DOP value? How can I set, how much I can set the max DOP for my SQL server? How much? 2. Okay, so the answer is 2. Okay, why? Because I have 2 cores. You can see here, I have 2 cores, so I can set the max top value for my SQL server is 2. In case if I have 16 core, but still I have to set it as 8 only. Okay, so maximum of 8, and it depends upon the number of CPU. Means in case if parallelism is needed, all of my 2 cores are going to share the load. In the CPU, again, you will have cores. Okay, in the CPU, you will have logical processors. Okay, cores internally divided into logical processors. 2 core, 1 core means 2 logical processors, 2 cores means 4 logical processors. You can see here. Okay, 2 cores means 4 logical processors. Each core you will have 2 logical processors. 2 cores means 4 logical processors. Means internally, 1 minute, guys. Okay, fine. So internally, all 4 logical processors are going to share the load. Okay, so you have to check again as discussed. Okay, so first you will check CPU utilization, SQL processes or non-SQL processes, routed to the Windows team, SQL processes. Then what you have to check? You have to check the which instance is taking more CPU or more memory. If you have only one instance, you can easily identify. If you have multiple instances, you can expand that. Okay, SQL Server processes, so that you can see which instance is taking more CPU, and you can log into that particular SQL Server, and you can check any blockings are there, any long running sessions are there. And in case if any long running sessions, any blockings, then you can check with the user. If user is okay to kill, then you can kill the processes, and you have to check any jobs are running parallelly. And if you see any parallel jobs are there, depends upon the requirement, depends upon the okay approvals, you can kill those parallel jobs and all. and you have to check, okay, this maxed up and cost threshold parallelism value. The ideal values are the recommended values for cost threshold parallelism is 5, and the maxed up value depends upon the number of CPU cores up to 8. Right? Fine. So these are the troubleshooting steps as of now. Right. So even though everything is fine, max degree of parallelism is correct, and cost threshold parallelism is also correct, but still you are having a CPU issue, memory issue. Okay, then how you are going to troubleshoot it? Okay. So here we are going to, this is very important. Okay. What we are going to do here, let me tell you other reasons why your query might be slow or application might be slow, or your CPU and memory is consuming more CPU and more memory. Okay, so there might be an issue with fragmentation. Okay, I'll tell you what is this fragmentation. And you may, okay, as discussed earlier, okay, update statistics, stats are very important. Update statistics are very important. Okay, why? Because if you haven't updated your statistics, what happened? Okay, if you haven't updated your statistics, what happened? Before discussing these two, let me discuss about the memory. Okay, so especially as discussed all these things, okay, even though your memory is not coming down, still your memory is consuming more. Okay, so what other extra step you have to check? Make sure your SQL server max server memory and min server memory are adjusted. Okay, this is like job activity monitor, right? And go to your SQL Server properties and check your memory. Okay, go to the memory page, and here you can see, guys, very important. So minimum server memory is 0 and max server memory is how much value this is? We have already discussed, I guess. Right? So what it means? What it means, if you see this much of value, what it means, guys, can anyone tell me? This is a very big value, right? And that too it is in MBs, not bytes and all, in MBs. 647 MB, okay, 3 GB, 83 GB, 483 GB, okay, 7 TB, 47 TB, 147 TB, 2 petabytes. 2 petabytes of memory. What it means, 2 petabytes of memory? This is the default value, guys. What is meant by minimum server memory and max server memory? And especially, okay, so till now we discussed all the things for CPU and memory, right? In case if you got CPU issues or memory issues, you have to check all the things. Apart from this, apart from those settings, if you got memory issues, if your memory consumption is high, definitely you have to check these settings. Max server memory means how much maximum server memory it can use, how much maximum RAM it can use, okay, when it is working on or when it is processing the data. When SQL Server is processing the data, how much max RAM it can use. By default, you can see this big value that is around 2 petabytes. This is the default value. That means it is going to consume memory up to 2 petabytes. Okay, up to 2 petabytes, even though you have 10 GB or 16 GB or 32 GB or 64 GB or 1024 GB, whatever it is, up to 2 petabytes, how much memory is there? Your SQL server, your whole SQL server will consume all the memory. If you see, you are staying in a room, and with you there are 3 other guys are staying, and like whatever food is there, if you are only eating without considering them, nothing will be there to eat, right, for others, right? So the whole system memory, if you are consuming the whole system memory, if one SQL server is consuming the whole system memory, other processes, lot of processes will be there. Antivirus softwares will run in the Windows machines, .NET framework, like this, lot of different softwares will run. They don't get memory. If they don't get memory, what happened? Your memory consumption will become high, 100% it will reach us, and then finally it will wait for 10 to 15 minutes, and then your server will be hanged. If your server is hanged, that's it. There is no other solution. You have to restart the SQL server. Okay, so make sure don't give this much big value as a SQL server max server memory. Okay, so you have to set this value. I'll let you know what this value. Okay, how to set this value under. Let me reopen the meeting. Please join immediately with the same link.